What belt are you and when is the last time you trained? And go ahead and ask me any questions relating to yoga for BJJ. So questions on stretching. Hey, you guys. Man, I always feel bad saying the name because I might butcher it. I'm like, hey, VNWTT. Maybe I'll just say it out loud like that, just the letters. So really great to see everyone today, and let me know are you training jiu-jitsu? How's your jiu-jitsu training going? Do you have questions of stretching in relation to jiu-jitsu, all that jazz? Because I found that the yoga for BJJ was one of the best ways to improve my jiu-jitsu off of the mats. Oh, hey Nick, how's it going? How are you? How's the farm? Oh, Nick is one of our yoga for BJJ instructors, and he has a farm, and he's put together a really cool farmhouse to train in. It's just unreal. You strained your adductor and how did you strain it? How did you strain it? You let me know how you strained your adductor. I imagine it must be something during wrestling, something during the guard. What's my favorite stretch at the moment? A big white belt. Oh, tell me more about being a big white belt. How's your wrestling going? Do you want advice? Do you want to stretch? Do you want mobility? Honestly, that's a hard one, Nick. What's my favorite stretch at the moment? I would have to say my favorite stretch is two. I'm going to do a 2-in-1 combination here. The low lunge. The reason is feels so good through the front of the quads and reaching the right arm up and over. This is one of my favorite stretches, and hamstrings too. Moving through the hamstrings so you can pivot, back foot in, sit on it, and just stretch through the hamstring. So I've really been enjoying that. And then, of course, a few stretches with the belt. Oh, it's so good. What's yours, Nick? What's your favorite stretch at the moment? You've been enjoying the slower classes I've been putting up. You were saying, hey, partner getting out of your guard. Yeah, that's what I thought. The farm's doing good. So you know what? Give me a second. I'm going to grab my belt here and give you a good stretch. Okay, we're back. So partner getting out of your guard, a good stretch for the adductors, which is along the inside of the legs. What do you call a slow stretch where you triangle your legs and side stretch? Do you know what, Nick? Okay, so I have two things to answer. I'm going to answer the adductor one. That one kind of doesn't really have a name. So what Nick's talking about, and you know what, this could be good for my friend there that is, your partner has been working on getting out of the guard and you pulled your adductor. It just means your hips are tight. So this one will be super good for you too. Okay, here we go. This is my favorite stretch too. Put your ankle on the opposite quad and bring the left foot over to the ground. And honestly, I'll just grab my ankle. This is an amazing stretch for the outside of the hips that tend to get incredibly tight because we put them through a lot of abuse in jiu-jitsu, and they do a lot of work stabilizing when we're standing and moving, so they get really tired. They get really tight. This stretch doesn't really have a name. I'm going to tell you right now, Nick, it doesn't really have a name. I got it from Jason Crandall, my yoga instructor that I do my certification under, my 500 hour. So you can call it triangle, twist, spinal stretch. Like, it doesn't really have a name. Yeah, I call it a spinal twist with an outer hip stretch. So it has lots of names. So you can think up a fun one for that. It is a great stretch, isn't it? Oh, Brazil. Marcus, hi from Brazil. Marcus appreciates the whole project, been doing routines for a bit, and it's been amazing. Which one's your favorite routine, Mark? Should we stretch before? Okay, so I'm going to go back to my friend with the adductor. Get your jiu-jitsu belt, and there's a few stretches for this. I do recommend doing the one I showed Nick's talking about. This one's really good for the outside of the hips. Our next one is taking the belt around the ball of the foot, lengthening it, because chances are if If you pulled your adductor, someone's in the guard, your hips are probably tight, and that's okay because everyone's hips are tight. So loop the belt around the ball of the foot, take the belt, and just stay here for a bit for the hamstrings. This is really good for the hamstrings, but hamstrings, take the belt out to the right side. Once you take the belt out to the right side, that will stretch the adductors. Really simple, really great. Take the belt and stay there for a while. Take the belt to center, belt in the left hand, and go to the left side. So I can't go because I have my wall here, but that'll stretch the outside of the adductors again. So belt up, to the right, and to the left. Just do that. Simple, timeless stretch. And I'll post that stretch up too because it is just absolutely unreal. Oh yeah, so Marcus, your favorite is doing the cooling off ones for after jiu-jitsu practice. I know, hey? Those are one of my favorites too. It makes you feel so much better. Makes you feel so good. Okay, here we go. Black belt jiu-jitsu, white belt in yoga. I train every day. I did your 10 for 30 twice and I love it. Do you know what? Thank you for doing the 10 for 30. And I'm actually uploading more because I had people that just really liked it. And I've had a request for a core program, but it's really, to me, it's not that beneficial. It is more beneficial to do a flow with core in. So I've uploaded a 20 for 30. There will be 2 videos on there as of today, and I'm uploading more. Yesterday or last week was the front of core and sides of core in a flow, and the next one is the back of core. We'll be moving through the diagonal strength of the core, the rotation of the core. So there's lots of different ways that we're hitting up the core. Jump in the 10 for 30, you'll see some new programs. I don't know, I'm calling it 20 for 30, but it's less instruction, more flow, just to get you moving, and a really great 20 minutes. So, and I'm gonna put it on the story today too. But yeah, jump in. You can search Sarah in the search bar. You can search go to the search the 10 for 30 and you'll see a divider and more videos for you guys. Because I love jumping on, doing something that makes me feel great. Slow warm up, core integrates the whole thing, and then a quick cool down. Okay. So I had a friend back here that was asking about stretches, like good stretches for before jiu-jitsu or after. And I'll answer your question over there, BT, in a bit. Lower back stretch. Oh, I know. So is it good to stretch before or after jiu-jitsu? And the answer is both. The answer is both. I will do a warm-up stretch. And if you jump online, you can jump on our website, yogaforbjj.net, search warm-up, and you will find an outstanding 20 to 30 minute warm-up sequence. And it starts with small movements, gets the entire body warmed up and moving, and basically gets you ready for whatever you're gonna do. Going from being static, computer or work, or if it's early in the morning from bed, to preparing not only the body, but also the mind needs a transition period to training. So it kind of, when you start moving and you're sore and stiff in training, you're like, oh, I need a minute to warm up. This warm up takes care of that. And it's really, really amazing. So, and then after, cool down stretches, right? We also have cool down stretches on the website too. You can search cool down. We're really simple that way. Oh, hi from Twitch. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, that's my first hi, Live Gym Now. My Kai team is there, my amazing tech team. They made this all possible. Big shout out to them. And so in regards to warm-ups and cool downs, cool down is really simple. The one that I explained with the belt here just a few minutes ago, you can do that. One of my favorites. You've done the crazy jiu-jitsu wrestling. Actually, when our gyms were open, how many doubles have I had? Actually, today I've only had 1 coffee. I usually have 2 in the morning, but today I've only had 1 so far. And you know what? We're cutting it down. No sugar, only cream. I'm gonna be cutting out cream too because I think savages drink black coffee. I don't know if I can quite do it yet, but I'm trying. Cool down stretch. Do this one again, my friend. Boom. Hamstrings, you've done some crazy wrestles. And if it's nogi, I have a different one for that too. Stretch here for the while, the hamstrings. Stretch the outside for a while. and stretch the hip here, bringing the leg across the midline. That's really, really nice. And this is kind of a crash course then for those shoulders. Oh, grab the belt, just go behind. So that's a crash course, but the answer is it's great to stretch before and after training, or if you do one or the other, that's okay. Both are really, really great. Jump on the website for more of a sequence, right? I can only show so much here at a time. Okay, BJ, anything for a lower back stretch? Oh man, yes. Lower back, it quite often gets so sore, so tired, and it's not just you. And tight. Jump on your back. I know, hey? And into black coffee will get you off the Chesterfield and into a kerfuffle, eh? Yeah. Or you're making fun of me because I'm Canadian. I'm always saying A. Yeah, I do say that. I was sending an email the other day, and I was like, A? And I'm like, shoot. I need to stop being so Canadian and doing that. Lower back stretch, a couple options. I want you to tell me which one feels the best. This old classic, feet on the ground, lift the hips, bring the hips to the left side. So your spine is off center, your hips are off center. Bring the hips to the left side. Knees above the hips, lower the knees to the right side. And the crazy part about this, I won't bore you with all the details, but now your spine's in line. Reach the left arm up and out to the left side. This is a very, very nice stretch for the lower back. It's one of my favorites. So you stay here for as long as you like, then move to the other side. Again, recenter the hips, lift the hips, barely off center to the right, lower the legs to the left side. So then obviously you're stretching the other side, so that's one. And if your lower back is sore or tight or feels like it needs a stretch, there's a chance that the outside of the hips are really tight too. So outer, one I mentioned before, but it's one of the best stretches of all time. Outer ankle on the opposite quad and lower, so that's my left leg, lower all the way to my right side. Just grab the ankle so the leg doesn't slide like crazy and put the back on the ground. This is a really nice stretch for the outer hip. So you can do both of these. You can do the ones, legs just on the side, 1, 2, and you can do this one here. Okay, so both of those, and BT, try those out and let me know how that goes. Yeah, you know what? It's not great information about changing your angle first. It's not about, it's not like a life-changing thing where if you don't change the angle, it's never gonna work. All the time, people will show it just bringing the legs over, and that's okay. But I've found that that's a small detail that it makes it feel so good. So try that out, and then again, on our website, we have back programs, right? A whole back pain program, back moving, taking back control. That one always cracks me up. So lots of those. And, oh, you've been talking Newfie slang the whole time. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't Canadian slang, it was Newfie slang. Well, I guess we both say A, don't we then, eh? I just said it. Okay, now next one is, even if the back is getting sore, so I will check out. Yeah, you know what? Check it out. No, and there is in the description 10 free videos. So that is Sebastian's flagship program. It's unreal. That's what got me into yoga for BJJ. Now, obviously, I'm on the dark side, but there's 10 free videos. So 10 minutes of yoga for BJJ every day for 10 days. So jump in that free link, and then it will send you a free video for 10 days. It's only 10 minutes, and everyone has 10 minutes. You have it during your coffee or in the morning or in the evening. And it's crazy how such a short amount of time can have such a massive benefit. It's really, really cool. Okay, so let me know how that goes, and then jump back on my live next week. Jump back on my live. You'll be 7 days in, and let me know how it goes, what videos you liked, what videos you benefited more from, and all that jazz. So today, talking about the core, I think, because I've been doing a lot of reading and research and thinking on the core, and a lot of times the lower back is sore, right? The back is sore and tight because even me included, I was always focusing on strengthening the front of the core. And I always interrupt myself. If you guys have more questions, make sure to send them in, right? It's super fun to answer them, troubleshoot them with you. The front of the core is what we usually strengthen, right? We always think abs and doing crunches, front plank crunches, just all these things, right? But doing all of those things for the front of the core, really neglecting half of the core. This is my learning curve from 2021, guys. This is a big deal. The rest of the core, the back. What about strengthening the back? And it's so boring to strengthen through the back. It's like, who really wants, I don't know, to me it is, right? Like at first, now that I've gone into it, it's really interesting, but who wants to sit there, boom, in locust and cobra and all these things to strengthen through the back? But it is half of the core. So if we've strengthened a lot of the front of the core and begin strengthening the back, if both of those are strong, could you imagine what that will do for our jiu-jitsu game? Like, it's crazy. What's my go-to hip opener? Oh man, there's so many great ones for open guard. Okay, I would have to say my go-to one is from your hands and knees. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. And if this is enough, stay here. Make sure my back knee's in the picture. Or if you'd like more of a stretch, you can tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. This will stretch through the front of the back hip and the inside of the right hip. So I really like that one. Now let's say this is, you know, you're getting really flexible and you don't feel a lot of this stretch is not interesting anymore. You can also, I'm going to switch sides so you can see, with the left foot, so I have my left foot outside my left hand, it's called my lizard foot, extend the left foot out. So this will also add a hamstring stretch in the front of the back hip. That is a phenomenal hip opening stretch. I really, really like it. I'd have to say that's probably, honestly, that's probably one of my favorites because there's so much you can do from that position too, right? Like even if you're here, back knees down. Oh, I could get a bit more of a stretch. Take the back toes. I call it reverse shrimping. With the back knee, reverse shrimp it back. Just pull it back. And you can also walk the hands forward and back for half splits. Because if you need to open the hips, there's probably more muscles that need to be open and stretched too. It's usually not just one. The body is a machine and it's connected. So if one thing is tight, there's probably a lot more things that are tight and need to be stretched too. I'd have to say that's my favorite one. It changes. We're always changing things. That's my favorite one at the moment. Keep sending in your questions, team. I really enjoy answering them, troubleshooting them. And I also like hearing how it went. You know, not just blasting information at you, but I want to know how it went. So when you come back around, let me know. Let me know. And you're going to find that stuff will change. Like right now, it's like, okay, it's a hip opening hip stretch to open the hips. Maybe next time it'll be a shoulder stretch. You'll find that as you move through the yoga and learning about the yoga, you'll need it in different areas. And some days I need it in all the areas. So I'm releasing a few flows underneath the 10 for 30. It's called, I don't know, the 20 for 30, which is 20 minutes long. And it's a complete flow, gets you started, warmed up. And it's I have to say it's like more towards the intermediate scale. Oh, your lower back hurts, help me. Okay, so let me finish my sentence. I need more information. What happened that your lower back hurts? What happened? Is it through wrestling? Did something happen in wrestling? Is it through a lot of wrestling? Or have you just taken time off and haven't moved a lot? And where does it hurt? So give me a little bit more information, okay? Then let's troubleshoot this and get you some stretches to make you feel like a champ. Just some of these flows are more towards, I always interrupt myself and go back, towards the intermediate. So we're more flowing, but you know, even if you're a beginner, you can still watch the screen. Like I just don't cue as many details, but you can still, I cue the big ones, but you can still watch the screen and move through it. And we go through, I'm really excited. The front of core and sides of core is the first video. And the second one, we actually move through strengthening the lower back and between the shoulder blades, which connects through the back. Surprisingly hard while challenging the balance. And then we'll move through diagonal strength and rotational strength. So targeting the core as a whole cylinder, those will be the first 5 videos. So in a flow. So the goal is you get on your mat, you start slow, you move through the flow, you finish with a nice stretch, and you're done 20 minutes. It's incredible you can do 20 minutes with a good sequence. Oh, stat guard pass. Ow, okay. So you know what? I'm going to give you a few stretches that I want you to try. We're going to go back to this one. I mentioned it once, but this is, you know how there's like stuff that's a timeless classic? Like you get a really good cup of coffee or a really good cup of tea, or you get a really good meal and you're just like, man, coffee is the best analogy for me. I could have this every day. That's what this stretch is like. I could do this every day. Try this. Because obviously if you've been stacked, it's compressed. It's compressed through the torso and vertebrae and it hurts. So feet on the ground, lift the hips, bring them to the left side, just a little bit. This will bring your center over to the left, knees up, lower them to the right side. Try this. And let's add a shoulder stretch, more at the spinal twist. Left arm up, bring it out to the left side. And you can hold this for as long as you like. And just relax. Here's a really, really great stretch. I think this will make you feel really, really good. Try this on both sides. The next variation is outer ankle to outer knee, lowering the leg to the right side, and grabbing the shin. This will allow the outer hip to join the party. If your back hurts, you can also jump on the website. And I do have in the slow stretch, I do have stuff for lower back to really release the lower back. So it sounds like it got stacked, and because of that, the muscle started like tighten and almost spasm up a bit. So because of that, you need to release them. There's also a back and control and lower back pain program. So you can DM me on Instagram and I will direct you to the right place to go. But just try that stretch today. See if it helps. And I find it amazing how something so simple that won't take very long can help so much. And you don't know. And then once you get in there and you try it, you're like, oh, that feels so good. I don't know how I could go without it. All right, everybody. So that's what we have for today. Super fun hanging out with you. And you know what? Let me know how that goes. Joel D. Townsend. Let me know how that goes. You can jump in my live next week, same time, same place, and let me know how your back feels. If you need another stretch, if you need more stretches, or if you need something maybe a little bit different. Okay? So super fun hanging out with everybody, and I will see you all next week.